Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Steven and I'm a Jamaican living in Brazil, and I make YouTube videos to share my thoughts and experiences living as a gringo right here in Guyana. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's not me necessarily sharing an experience I had here in Brazil, but giving you a rundown of what took place over the last year of my life and share what I think is a relevant message going into 2022. So this video was pretty much born out of a conversation I had with a friend of mine, Heavy D, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And we're talking about people feeling stuck or feeling frustrated at different points in life. For many people it was during high school, for some it was during university, and for some people it's right now or at the beginning of the pandemic. As it stands right now, I'm not feeling frustrated, but the conversation just made me look back at different points in my life and thought to myself, when did I feel very frustrated? It's this reflective mood that made me look back at the last year and realize that a lot of positive things have happened to me that at the beginning of 2021 I did not see as something remotely possible. One of those things is being right here in Brazil. Applying for this scholarship in 2021 was not the first time I did so. I actually applied in 2019 and I was rejected. At the time I was frustrated, but I decided to push on. I went ahead and applied for a scholarship to New Zealand, which was scrapped because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And believe me, at that point in time I was beyond frustrated because this was just disappointment after disappointment. But looking back at it right now, I can see that it was something that happened for a positive reason. Had I been successful in 2019, I would have been in Brazil, yes, but I would have been in Brazil at the height of the pandemic. Something that I definitely don't think I would have handled very well. Being in a foreign country where you don't speak the language fluently and being locked up in your house is not something that spells happiness for me. I mean, dealing with the pandemic at home was hard enough, but having to deal with it here alone would have been torture. Now I'm here in 2021, things are a lot less restrictive and I'm able to meet friends, get around, and I'm able to practice my Portuguese on a fairly regular basis with people out on the streets. During the height of the pandemic, something else was stripped away from me, and that's judo. If you follow any of my social media accounts, you'll see that judo has been an instrumental part of my life since about 2018. And because of the pandemic, and judo being a very close contact sport, you're literally in people's faces, breathing down their necks, judo had to be put on a back burner. While I did continue training on my own, it was never the same. Fast forward to the beginning of 2021, I had this rather strange idea, I thought at the time, to start a dojo in my backyard. While initially my parents, and yes I do live with my parents, were not too keen on the idea of having people over to train in their backyard in the middle of a pandemic, they eventually warmed up to the idea. And it was that crazy idea that helped to restart the machinery behind Theo's successful bid to qualify for the 2020 Paralympic Games in Tokyo. Had you spoken to me 2 years ago at the beginning of 2021, or even in about March 2021, I would not have seen myself being an integral part of that process. I would not see myself being in Japan, something that seemed so far-fetched to me a couple months ago. It was now becoming a reality. And what better birthday present could I have received? On July 12, 2021, the news was delivered that Theodore Soba would in fact be a part of the 2020 Paralympic Games as Jamaica's first visually impaired athlete to ever take part in a Paralympic Games. And the feeling inside me to know that I was a part of making that happen, I cannot quite describe it. And lastly, while this is not as exciting as the other two, it's just this YouTube channel. I toyed with the idea for 18 months thinking, should I do it, should I not do it? And look, I'm here. I'm living in Brazil, and I eventually decided to start a YouTube channel about my life here in Brazil. And while it's nowhere near where I want it to be, I can see myself getting better with each video. While I'm still fearful of recording myself, worse yet in public, I can see where I've made some improvements with each video. While I'm still worried every day, how can I deliver my message? Or how can I edit my videos to ensure my message is delivered in a way that is engaging, and not only engaging, but I drive the point that I'm trying to make home. And while these are all things that I'm worried about, guess what? I'm somewhere where I thought I wouldn't be, and I'm growing each and every day. I've shared 3 things that have happened to or for me within the last year. And these 3 things are the reasons I can look positively towards 2022. I mean, you might look back on 2021 and say, boy, nothing never really go on for me, you know. You see me? And it might not be that nothing happened for you, you know. But they have a saying in Jamaica, man a plan, God a wife. What you plan for yourself in 2021 might not have come through, or you might have been disappointed. But that disappointment, like my disappointment in 2019, might just be a setup for a comeback. So I won't ramble any further. I'll just deliver the message I have for you. For me, what I've realized during this time of reflection, if you keep praying, keep having faith, and keep working hard, what you want can really be yours. I mean, it might not pan out exactly how you planned or how you wanted it, and might fall just a bit below your expectations, or it might be the complete opposite where it far exceeds your expectations. But no matter what, just keep being you and keep being your best, and all the best for 2022. See you on the next one. Ciao.